some things because last time we had a bit of an issue with the live going dark for a second. So hopefully that won't happen today. Um, but y'all let me know first of all if you can hear me. Obviously, we have an awesome guest in here today. Mr. Cesar Joel is in the building. The host of our, creator meetup, whatever you want to call it, the meetup here in Puerto Rico in, well, literally like now, basically. It's going on the next few days, I guess. So I'm really excited for it. I wanted to have him on a little bit early just to get people excited for it, for one. And also, of course, we're going to talk about the Platinum card today, mainly. You'll get to hear my perspective on this card from a non-hater standpoint because I do think this card is great, but it's just not for me right now. And then also I want to talk about the Bilt stuff. So that's kind of what's going on today. But first, I just want to say welcome in to Mr. Cesar Joel.
Well, sir, mi hermano, thank you so much for the invite. I've been watching your content since you started pretty much, and I still enjoy your content. Like even now, 3 or 4 years later, 3 years later, I still enjoy
Mhm.
your content. So thank you so much for the invite. I really appreciate you, mi hermano, and can't wait to see you in San Juan, Puerto Rico this Saturday.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. And yeah, I guess for those that don't know, I mean, me and Caesar, honestly, we go really far back, like literally since the beginning of the channel getting started. And I've gotten to see you start your own channel as well. And for anybody that doesn't know, Caesar has a channel, fully in Spanish, which I actually go to your channel quite often and just like look through your things. I can, it translates it automatically for me. So I go and like look at your topics. I'm like, man, he's killing it on his side of things. I wish I understood Spanish a little bit better, but y'all definitely go support him and check out his channel if you haven't yet. But yeah, would you mind maybe just starting off? Well, first, actually, let me welcome in some people, and then I'm going to have you kind of just explain, where you came from, how we're even talking today. So let's see. We have some questions about Bilt. I saw those like from Chris earlier. We'll talk about that here in a second. But yeah, we had Woodsy in here early, long time channel supporter as well. So thank you, Woodsy, for being here. I'm sure Caesar, you know him pretty well yourself.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here. Zoomy in here. Guten Tag to you as well. Look at that. New languages unlocked. Clinton's in here too. Good evening to you. Dim in here as always. Awesome. Everybody can hear me. That's good to hear. That makes me feel a lot better than last time. Hopefully we're still good. Arturo's in here. Do we know Arturo? Caesar, is he coming
Yeah,
from your
yeah,
side of things?
saludo.
Awesome.
Yes, saludo, Arturo, saludo.
Awesome. Yeah. I always love seeing like the crossover between the audiences in these lives. It's so cool. Um, John is in here as well. Another channel member is supporting tonight. Awesome. Super Sal too. Thank y'all for being here. But yeah, let's go ahead and just kick it off, Caesar, maybe by just getting to hear more about your story, how we got here today, basically.
Well, I'm not sure yet how we got here. Well, in my case, I did 20 years of army service. I'm retired. I got bored, started a YouTube channel, and here we are today. In the last meetup, we decided to do the next meetup here in Puerto Rico. So we have it this weekend. I applied for many cards, and I used to have really bad credit. Like it was in the 490s. And
Mm,
right now it is sitting at 846 in TransUnion, 840 on Equifax, and 837 on Experian.
wow.
So I actually repaired my credit. I fixed my credit. I built my credit. And then I started learning about this game, points and mouse games, and I got addicted to it. And so I've been playing it very hardcore with
Yeah.
Amex, Chase, Citi, from many ecosystems. So it's been a fun journey so far.
Yeah. That's so cool. I mean, yeah, I think it's really inspiring. I've talked to a few other creators that have like gone through a similar journey. The one that sticks out to me is Nam Wen, who also was in the military for a bit, and he also rebuilt his credit. And a lot of what he told me, we had the Creator Conversations episode together, and he was saying that a lot of folks in the armed forces are usually don't know exactly how to manage their credit well, and that's kind of what
Yeah.
gave him the start of like wanting to teach people about it as well. So do you kind of like share that sentiment, or when did you kind of start that
Yeah.
rebuilding process?
I actually destroyed my credit because I was mobilized during Operation Freedom. And during that process, I kind of forgot about everything. I was just focused on going to the combat zone and everything. And I didn't do my work. So I didn't report it to the banks or anything, and not even to the student loans. So by the time I got back, my credit was completely destroyed.
Mm,
So So I started preparing it myself. I removed everything and started building my credit back, and it has
Wow.
been a fun journey.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess like how long ago did you really start getting into like the actual credit card, like the churning kind of side of things, I guess?
Yeah. My credit history is 13 years. I'm
Okay.
old, but I started the game like 5 years ago, something like that, 4.5 years ago.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I think, I've started mine. I mean, I basically that was kind of the whole reason I even started my channel was because I started it whenever I started the credit card game. So I guess
Yeah.
mine's been like 3.5 years or something like that that I've been really into it. So we got a similar starting point there. Seems like a lot of us actually had that. Like even I guess Stan's been in here for a while longer, but he is in the chat tonight. So Stan, thank you for being here.
Hey,
Um, yeah, always gotta love that support. Raul's in here as well. Mark
saludo.
also. Awesome. Daniel Sparks is in here. I'm not bringing up his message, and he knows exactly why. Classic Daniel Sparks over here. Saludos from Stan as well. Oh, gentleman coming in saying that Cesar was dropping science on Hilton and Amex on Barretto's live. I saw you were in that yesterday. I wasn't able to stop in, but sounds like that went well. Was
I
that fun?
I I know all the tricks about MX. Most of the time, when somebody tells me they canceling the gold, the platinum, I just think they just don't know the real American Express game. I know many people cancel those cars, and I understand why, but with Amex, there are just so many hacks and loopholes. Then, if I tell you my American Express Platinum gives me 80,000 MR points just by spending $3,000 every year in the 1X category, not even counting the benefits. So most of the people that cancel MX cards, they're just not deep enough in the game, or haven't asked me, how to do it. Like if you come to the meetups, I'll explain it like step by step.
Yeah,
Or if But yeah, I know all the hacks, Delta hacks, Hilton hacks. It's just like, yeah, MX is
it's
the
the way.
best.
Yeah, the way to do it. Yeah. No, you've always been that like the devil on my shoulder, pulling me towards the Amex side. I'll tell you that, or maybe the angel, either one. But I'll say, yeah, for a long time we've always kind of gone, a little bit back and forth on that. It's funny. I'm actually in the middle of, um, scripting, filming a video this week about whether or not I regret canceling the Amex Gold whenever I did. I guess that was what last year at this point. So that's a fun conversation that we can
Yeah.
maybe talk a little bit about in
If
this
you
live too.
if
But
you ask me, you made a mistake. You should have
yeah,
called me or something. You should have called me before doing it, and or sending a message. And yeah, I could have fixed that real easy, like real easy.
yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, there's always the opportunity, hopefully, with Amex to
Yeah.
find a no lifetime language or get my way back in that door.
Oh,
So it's something I'm
yeah,
considering.
there are many. Yeah, there are many
Um,
of those.
let's go. Den was saying Caesar Amex is or Caesar is the Amex goat. There we go.
Thank you.
James saying what's up as well. Nick said a little birdie told me that Caesar loves the Ritz card. Is that true?
That's overrated car. This is,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I got it on my list like in fourth spot, like Hilton Inspire. Then it comes the ISG cars, personal and business. Third spot is the Brilliant, and then maybe the Ritz car,
Interesting.
maybe,
I have to
and
touch on
and that's
that stuff too.
and that's a
Gosh.
huge maybe, and that's a huge maybe.
I got the Ritz card, so we can go back and forth on that a little bit. Um, awesome. Yeah, we got SoCal in here saying looking forward to listening to all the tips that Caesar's going to provide tonight. Thank you for hosting him. Of course, what it's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Hey, la
The credit
familia,
family.
que se ya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of my members.
Javier's
Yeah.
in here. Awesome. Um, okay, I'm gonna pause here for a second, and I think first, since we had questions at the very beginning talking about Bilt, I want to just cover it real quick. Caesar, I know that we talked before this, and you're saying you're not super into like Bilt or anything, but I feel like since it's live and since we get
Yeah.
to cover things really quickly as they come out, might as well touch on them for a second here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up, and maybe we can get your reaction to it too, since I don't believe you've looked too far into it yet. Alrighty. So I basically just wanted to bring up the email that I got from Bilt today. Everybody probably got from Bilt today. Talking about what Bilt 2.0 is really going to be about. A lot of people were very mad, I guess, in a sense, about what they initially announced, saying that mortgages We're going to only be able to be, I guess, you got rewards on them based on having your mortgage with one specific lender effectively. But they've kind of backtracked on that, which I think is interesting. So really quick, I know we had a question off the bat that Chris was asking if the Bilt transition is going to affect 524. So we're going to cover that real quick as well, because there's a way that it will and will not affect it depending on how you go about it. I think Neely tried like also answer that question, but still, I wanted to cover that for everybody else. Effectively, really quick crash course. Bilt is releasing their 3 new cards, or their 3 cards total in February 7th of 2026 to be specific. They're going to be revealing their 3 cards on that day, and then after that announcement, you're able to select which card is right for you, and then they're going to deliver it to your door ahead of launch. So you're basically ready to go from day one. Interesting thing about this so far is that right now, I know that you're not. They removed the ability to apply for the Bilt card as of today, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if you saw that, Cesar, but I read something about that. So that's kind of, I guess, big for people
Yeah,
that might
that
have wanted to
I
just get the other ones. But
I I think the language is also a little confusing because they mention like the transition, but then if you don't do the transition, your car is going to be converted to a
yeah,
Wells Fargo autograph. So it doesn't seem that seamless, like they mention it. And
right.
so if you're opening another new account, yeah, you're not going to do a hard pull, but are you going to open a new account or not? So
Yeah, exactly.
there's a lot of there's a lot of confusion because they say, well, if you don't transition, then you will get the autograph with the different numbers. So if that's the case and you keep the
Hmm.
same credit card number, then probably you won't get a new account. But if they, report a new account, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not liking what I'm reading, but it sounds kind of confusing. The way Bill is doing this transition.
Honestly, a lot of times with Built these days, I think everything's just it's become a little bit too much for everybody to handle. Like it's a free card right now, but the amount of like emails and new things that I get all the time that are really some of them are valuable, but a lot of them you kind of have to weed through a bit of the BS or all the marketing jargon. And yeah, so I understand where you're coming from for sure. And yeah, just to I guess point out exactly what he was talking about here. Um, Basically, you can continue using the current Bill Mastercard that you have through that February 6th, 2026 date. I guess the 7th is when the new ones are launching. Your points and Bilt membership are going to stay the same. If you choose to transition to the new Bilt card, you'll be able to transfer any balance from your old Wells Fargo account, and then you can close it down if you want. So that's where it starts getting confusing, where it's like they're saying you can close it down, but also that they're going to transition it. So which one is it, right? Um, and they said if you choose to keep your Wells Fargo account open, then the old account will become an autographed Visa with a different card number. So again, depending on how that actually comes into effect, it sounds as though you might have another card get
That
added to 524.
that's the problem because if you decide to keep the car and transition, they have someone has to report a new account to your report, someone,
Right.
because you're getting a new number from Wells Fargo, and then you're getting another card from Bill. So you had one account, now you're having two.
Mm-hmm.
So are they going to back report that since day one? How they are going to do that or implement that is the confusing part. I mean,
Yep. I completely agree. Yeah, we're gonna have to see, I guess, how it plays out. This is all we know as of right now. As I said here, like, there's nothing you need to do right now. Keep using it as normal, and they'll guide you through every step of the transition. But yeah, as of right now, personally, if I had the choice to either keep one account for the built one and like move to the new one versus have two with the Wells Fargo old account, I would get rid of the old account personally, just because I would rather apply for the autograph fresh. But I could see a lot of reasons for people to just be like, well, now I get a free autograph card, I might as well take it. What do you think on that one?
it's like it's very difficult because you have to make the decision way before, like you have to cancel the card before
Yeah.
they give you that autograph. So it's more complex. So I don't know, it's a huge mess.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me, the way they're doing it. The way that I thought they will do it is we are buying the book from Wells Fargo, and we are going to move every account to
Yeah.
Carlos, and that's it. You keep the same account number, you keep the same account history, and nothing changes. I mean, we'll send you a new card with the new bank logo, but that's about it. But that's not what I'm seeing over there in that email. It's very confusing to me.
Yep. I
Or
agree.
maybe
Yeah,
I'm
it's like
just dumb. Or,
no,
or
I agree with you. because it's like every time. That's the thing is every time I read their emails or their press releases, I get almost more confused. So no, I'm right there with you. Let's see what people are saying real quick. It looks like Juan is in here saying good evening, and he said if they nerf the 2.0 Bilt no annual fee card on the rent and mortgage multiplier, which Juan, I'm gonna say I bet I bet they will be. I may transfer to Hyatt and product change to the autograph card. See, that's the question right there, though. Is I don't know if it's going to be a product change. I think he might just have to. You might have to have two accounts. It's going to be weird. Yeah, it
Yeah.
stands asking the same question here too. So is the new Bilt card going to be the new account or the Wells Fargo autograph? Sounds like Bilt would be the new account on your report, but
Well, one has to be the new account. I mean, you just ha-
yeah, initially when I read that
unless,
report,
yeah,
I thought that it was going to be that the Wells Fargo card would be the new account if you, yeah, if you wanted to keep that. I don't. It's so confusing. If you wanted to keep your old history with Bilt or whatever, you would open up that new Wells Fargo card and that would be the new account. But that actually doesn't make as much sense technically. So I agree
doesn't
with
make
Stan
sense at
here.
all.
Yeah.
And it's changing the card number on the Wells Fargo side. So it just doesn't make sense the way they are doing it. Before Wells Fargo had it, I mean, they also did something like that, and it was a new account, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like that part, and the communication is not clear enough. I mean, if it's confusing for me that I talk about credit cards, I can only imagine for other people that have the card. It's going to be difficult to understand what they're going to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely, as things progress, I mean, that's what, 3 months out at this point. So as things progress, of course, we'll have more lives and, I don't know if I'll do videos on rumors. I don't necessarily like doing that. But once we have like some concrete stuff, we'll talk more about that on the channel. But for now, it's a lot of a guessing game.
Yeah.
Looks like we have Jonathan saying, good evening, senores. Two of the greats in the space. Looking forward to the meetup in San Juan. So that's great. I'll get to meet Jonathan there. Be a good time. All right. Here, I'm going to see what Calder said right here. Terms and conditions indicate it requires approval. Imagine being denied for Bilt 2.0 with 1.0 open. That's interesting. Yeah. And then Stan said, I agree, but it wasn't addressed. So it's not a no. Yeah. Okay. That's probably enough on the Bilt card for now. I don't want to get too far in the weeds of just like guessing.
Yeah, it's just a big mess, and they're not doing the right thing, and it's confusing. That's the pretty
Yep.
much.
I feel that. But now I would like to go ahead and just transition fully to talking about the platinum card. You've already gave everybody a good primer here saying, all these things that you know about the American Express side of things. And obviously, I come from more of an approach of being like, I guess, a little bit more risk averse when it comes to,
Yeah.
adding super high annual fee cards and stuff like that. So I try to make a lot of disclaimers and talk about these cards in that way in my videos. But I will say off the bat that just so we're clear on confusion here, one, I don't have the platinum card yet. So somebody asked about that. Holden asked about that. I do not currently have the platinum card, but I've made plenty of videos on it. And one of the ones most recently where I compared the new platinum to the Sapphire Reserve, I got a slightly lower effective annual fee on the platinum, and that goes to show that objectively, for me, it is a great card. It is the most amount of value technically you can get on any credit card on the market right now, consumer facing. But I also like to emphasize that that doesn't mean it's for you. So that's kind of like the big thing here is the subjectivity. And hopefully Cesar and I have perspectives on this that can help y'all decide if it's one for you. And then maybe he'll convince me to apply for it. We never know.
I never tried to convince anyone, right, to apply for any card,
Yeah.
but there are two cards that, in my opinion, um, it's not debatable which one is the best card. Like the best hotel card is the Hilton Aspire. Doesn't matter if you don't stay at Hilton. The Hilton Aspire still the best card. It might not work for you, but still better than any other hotel card. The same applies to the Platinum. The Platinum is, I mean, no other premium travel card can cover your entire travel experience like like the Platinum does. So
Mm-hmm.
there's no other better card than the Platinum. It might not work for Spencer, but still the best. It's like not everyone can justify having a Ferrari,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a Kia Rio. All right. So the Kia Rio is easy to justify, but it's not better than the Ferrari. You can buy an Invicta watch. That's easy to justify, but it's not better than a Rolex. So people confuse easy to justify with the best. The best
Mm-hmm.
travel card is the American Express Platinum. It might not work for you, but still the best. then you pick the next best options that will apply to you. So, of course, if you are living near the airport that has a Sapphire lounge, yeah, it's going to be a better car for you. But it's not better than the Platinum because when you look all the benefits that the Platinum provides, like you get the global entry in combination with Clear. That's a great perk. And then car rental status with multiple car rental agencies. Then you have hotel status with Hilton, Marriott, Leaders Club, and then you have excellent customer service. Fine Hotels and Resort is way better than the Edit. More options, a lot more options. The Resi dining app is also way better. So it's not about if the Platinum is the best. The Platinum is the best premium travel card. It might not be the best for a particular case, but it's still the best. The same applies to the Hilton Aspire. That's easily the best hotel card, but it might not work for everyone. I mean, it's
Right.
just what can you justify depending on your situation.
Right.
But since no other travel card can combine all those benefits and provide those experiences in a single card, yeah, it's difficult to call any other card the best premium travel card in the game. I do think that Chase did a very good job, not at the beginning, like right now, because at the beginning, for me, the car was kind of trash, and I do had the CSR,
Hmm.
and even I decided, I also got the new design. I decided not to keep the car, even with the old annual fee, because I just didn't want to deal with it.
Hmm.
Then for the first time in quite a few years, Chase started hearing the people and started making some changes, some positive changes. And I really like that
Right.
because now, starting January, you can do back-to-back bookings with the edit. And that's a good move because the edit is very limited compared to the Fine Hotels and Resorts. It's like I had access to both programs, and the difference is huge. It's not even
Hmm.
close. So I like that Chase is starting to hear the customers and making changes, not waiting 5, 6, 7 years to nerf the car again, make some little updates. So I really do appreciate that. It wasn't enough for me to keep the car because we are at a point that it's difficult to have more than one premium travel card. Even
Yep.
for myself, like I travel frequently, but I just don't want to deal with that amount of coupons, like from two big premium travel cards, because let's face it, I mean, CSR is a coupon book. Platinum has always been a coupon book. Although I don't need to use any of the credits to get positive value. Like like I mentioned, I know my tricks. Downgrade play, I get 80,000 MR points every year, and I've done that for the last 3 years. No issues. So I don't even have to use any of the benefits to get positive value. I can't do that with Chase. It's impossible to do something like that. And so yeah, I think the Platinum is the best travel card, but people confuse easy to justify or the best for me with the best. No,
Yeah.
Platinum is the best. Hotel card aspires the best. It might not be the best for Spencer Johnson. It might not be the best for me, but still the best because no other travel card can cover your entire travel experience like the American Express Platinum does,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
No, I completely resonate with your points there, and I want to touch. Obviously, we're going to talk about this for a lot. I want to real quickly show. We got a super chat while you were talking, which is super kind from the box unboxing box. Once again, coming back to back streams and donating, so super kind. Um, Saying that he hopes that we're having a good day, and wanted to let you know that they subscribe to your channel. So that's awesome.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
so
you,
much for
gracias,
doing that.
thank you.
Yeah, everybody make sure you go like that message and show some love in the chat. That's really amazing. I'm always blown away by just generosity that our community has. It's such an amazing community.
Yeah,
So thank you for doing that. Um, but yeah, this is such a fun topic, honestly, like for me, because I think what gets lost, like for example, in my videos, I can only really speak from my, personal, experience, but in my videos, it's really tough for people to differentiate the fact that I'm speaking subjectively while also trying to speak objectively, right? So, like, you're going to see a ton of
yeah,
videos on my channel about the Sapphire Reserve because that is my
yeah.
premium travel card of choice. So I can't like sit here and pretend like I love the platinum and all this stuff and I don't even have it. So, like that's where the balance that I have to play. Um, but like whenever I make the videos, for example, like saying like these are the best premium travel credit cards in general, I kind of hope to, you know, throw up a little softball for y'all to be able to take the information and decide which one is best for you. But I do agree, and I've always said that in general that the platinum card it has the highest upper limit of value that you can get from all of the travel cards, and that's why it's always been people's favorites. But it's the I've seen a lot of people who that's where they stop the research. They hear that and they stop there and then they go get the platinum card. And it's like, well, did you even consider, the other options, or have you like really seen if those credits fit your lifestyle? Are you just saying that you're getting that much value because you've heard that quoted online? And that's, as like, YouTubers and stuff, it's kind of hard to not take that into account and try to address that in the videos. But yeah, I think these days I've become known as somebody that just isn't a big Amex fan, and that's fine. Even though it's not the
Yeah,
truth. I have plenty of Amex cards and plan to get more.
yeah. With MX, I mean, like the big part of MX is like the amount of points that you can earn. Like not all the bank is gonna give you that many intro offers, that upgrade offers, downgrade plays. It's just, yeah, it's not even close. And I got cars with Chase, plenty of cars with Chase. I got City cars, so I got plenty of cars, and it's just American Express is difficult to get out if you are already deep into the American Express ecosystem. It's very difficult because like one example that I mentioned sometimes ago, right? So you can like yeah, I don't have the cars here. Yeah, I have it, right? So for example, like if you cannot justify the American Express Platinum, even if you can, I can justify the Platinum, but every year uh, I downgrade when the annual fee post. I downgrade to the green.
Mm,
Regardless, this is my favorite travel card. It makes sense for me. Every year, when the A95 now shows up, I say, "Hey, bro, I don't want this card. Can you product change it to the green?"
mhm.
In 24 hours, next day, I go look for the gold card in the American Express website, and I accept a 30,000 MR point offer after spending just $1,000. So
Like
what
an upgrade
happens?
from the green to the gold.
Yeah, it's automatic. You just go look for the
Wow.
card. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to ask anything. So you spend $1,000 and you have 6 months to spend $1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
The 30,000 MR points get deposited to your account. Guess what you do, bro? You go look for the platinum again next month or next day, and you accept an upgrade offer for 50,000 MR points. So now, after spending $2,000, so that's a total of $3,000, you get 80,000 MR points every year. So now you can take a look of the benefits and the credits. You already have 80,000 MR points. So there's no way any other car can
Yeah.
provide you that many points. I don't care if somebody tells me 4x on hotels on the CSR, 3x on dining. I got plenty of dining cars.
Right.
The CSR is not gonna give me or any other car 80,000 MR points after spending $3,000 in the 1x category. And after that, I can use all the benefits. So
That is
once you go very deep, it's difficult. It's
it,
difficult.
the question I have with that whole process is I'm sure
Yep.
there's a lot of folks out here that I don't think that those upgrade offers are necessarily guaranteed for. Do you
They
see
are.
like a level at
No,
which
no. You just go there and look for the car. You don't have to do anything. Like if you downgrade this car today and
Mhm.
you downgrade to the green, tomorrow, you just go visit the American Express website, not the app,
Yeah.
and go look for the gold card, not the platinum, because you want to get both offers. You want to get two upgrade offers, not just one. So you go look for the American Express Gold. At the bottom is going to say
Mhm.
product change upgrade offer, 30,000 MR points after spending $1,000 in 6 months. But you don't want to be obvious. So once you spend that $1,000, you get your 30,000 MR points. You wait for the next billing cycle and you just go there and look. I mean, you can do it right away, but
Yeah.
in my case, I wait one billing cycle. So once I see the 30,000 MR points from the goal, I pay the goal annual fee,
Mhm.
which is going to be deducted from the platinum
Right.
and prorated, and then I accept the other upgrade offer. You don't have to ask for anything. You just go look for the car that you want, and the offer is going to be right there. it gets worse with Delta. Is even more crazy. Delta with the Delta cars, there's so many tricks with the Delta cars, Hilton cars. Like you
Yeah.
can get 4 free night certificate with the Surpass. You can get 2 free night certificates with the no annual fee ones. There's just so many things once you go deep into the American Express game. Like Delta Reserve, you can get every year you can get 70,000 Delta Sky Miles, $300 in a statement credit, and you also get $600 in hotel stays just for holding that Delta Business Reserve without even looking for all the benefits. So yeah, most of the people that complain about my MX, they just are not that deep into the game or don't know these tricks. But if you come to the creator meetup, I can explain, step by step how to do it.
Yeah, I mean that is like one of those things that I think maybe in my mind I've been pushing off into the future a little bit more. I think a good note too when it just comes to the platinum, and that's very specific here again, but
Yeah,
um, not
but
that comment. Sorry, right here is
but
from
but
Holden.
but
Go ahead.
but even without those tricks, the Amex Platinum is still king. I mean,
Yes.
even without that's just like the cherry on the top of the cake. In my opinion, the Platinum is still the best card, travel card.
Yep.
That's just some extras that I learned. I was one of the pioneers on that topic. I've been doing it for over 3 years, and I've been maximizing all those crazy stuff with American Express.
Yeah. So here's one question I think a lot of people are going to have, and I see we have some other ones in here too. Maybe we can get into them.
Yeah,
Like Mike, for example, saying like that seems to be crazy to pull off every year. It
mhm.
sounds like right
Every
now what
year,
you're saying is that it's still working. When I talked to, for
every.
example, Luke
eh,
last week, he's saying a lot of stuff about how it's getting harder for like people like him.
the thing, what happens is like Luke knows a lot about the game.
Mhm.
Uh, the thing is, if you have both cars, then you have to change the strategy. You wanna when the annual fee hits on this one, you downgrade to the green, but you cannot upgrade back. You have to wait for the next one. So to also have two green cards, so you can accept both offers at the same time, and then you continue. So
Mhm.
the easy path is just having one. Like in your case, you had the goal. Well, you
Right.
downgrade to the green, you upgrade back to the gold, and you get 30,000 MR points. You don't have to go all up to the platinum,
Mhm.
but the gold card, and this is a good one because this is the easiest card to justify the American Express gold card. Because if you don't want to go to the platinum and you have the gold card, you downgrade the gold card to the green. Guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna use that clear credit. That's $209. And then once you get the credit back, you're going to accept the offer. So you already got the $209 for the clear credit. Now you're earning 30,000 MR points after spending just $1,000 and all the American Express Gold benefits. So having the gold card is going to give you the clear credit from the green, 30,000 MR points, plus all the American Express Gold benefits. So it just doesn't
Yep.
make sense to cancel this card. But the thing, when it get complex, for those that haven't done this multiple times, if you got the trifecta, then you have to downgrade both. And sometimes, it's going to be like 3 or 4 months after. So yeah, it gets more complex. But if you just
Mhm.
have one, it's piece of cake. If you got both, then you have to talk to me like in person. I explain.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think so. What I've seen also with Amex lately, or at least like over the past year, is like, for
Yeah,
example, retention offers. We haven't really talked about retention offers. It sounds like that's not necessarily something you're taking, but that is one of the
never,
first things that they have
never.
done away with. So are you worried about like this strategy now being done away with over time too?
Really never worry about what's going to be changing on the game. I'm just gonna explode whatever is
Yeah.
going on. If something happens, I adjust my strategy, and I really don't worry about nerfs, devaluations. I don't worry about anything, any of that at all,
Mhm.
like zero. If they do something, I'll do something else. I'm
Right.
just gonna always do whatever is best for me, not for the bank. So
Mhm.
still, I will keep the American Express Platinum. Even without that, I think it's the best travel card. I think CSR is getting closer. If Chase keep, making those little changes, if they fix the dining program, that will help them a lot. Some little changes here and there, but for now, I'll still think that I will keep the platinum, even without those 80,000 MR points. So with the gold card, is one that it will be more difficult for me to keep because I have the Strata Premier. I also have the Saver. So I got many cars that have 3x on dining. So if that loophole closes, then I have to really evaluate that car. But still, I'm pretty sure that I can downgrade, use the clear credit for my wife. That's
Mhm.
what I do, and then I use the platinum one for me, and still upgrade back even without points. It will be worth it, I think.
So yeah, I guess what you're saying with the clear thing too is that once you downgrade to the green, you activate the clear credit. That stays active whether or not you have the green or not at
Yeah,
that point.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. You pay for the service, you get the credit, and after that, then you accept the upgrade offer for 30,000 MR points. So you're getting 30,000 MR points,
Hmm.
you're getting clear credit, and all the American Express Gold benefits. That's why I told you that it was a mistake. Like when you close the car, I was like, damn, I don't got any hairs, but I don't got hair, but I was, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like the thing. Like I said, I think I've pushed everything with Amex off into the future just because they are more lenient with all of these things. But in my, my ideal at that point. So for me, for one, clear credit, it's like the way that I think about all of these credits in general is like, yes, with Amex, it's great that you have access to so many. You have so much
yeah,
potential. However, I would never pay for clear without the card. So it's like it's a nice to have,
mhm, yeah.
but it wasn't like it's not a long term keeper for me. So the only real play that I'm doing
Mhm.
with that green card is to upgrade again in the future, and then I have to take that $150 out of the upgrade offer that I get, if any. So it's like that's
30,000
that's where my math starts to come into play.
you, you also getting 30,000 MR points for the
Right.
upgrade play. So that pretty much offset the goal annual fee. Like for me, 30,000 MR points is more than
Yeah.
$325. At least in my case, I don't have any issues. But then I haven't touched any of the benefits of the
Right.
card, like
Right.
zero. And
So
then
it.
I got, and we got to keep it real. I'm also a content creator. I get referrals. So I'm getting the
Right.
30,000, I'm getting referrals and all the benefits. So, I mean, Capital One Venture at $5 may sound nice, but this sounds better in my
Right.
book.
Yeah. That is the question actually that even H Town here was asking. He was asking what your thoughts or what our
Yeah.
thoughts are on the Venture X. Maybe I
I
can
was
I
a
can
huge fan. I was a huge fan of that Venture X card. I think Capital One lost the direction because and I was a huge fan of the Venture X. It's not a bad card by any means, but it lost his competitive advantage because starting next year you can only go solo to pretty much even priority pass. Like they nerfed
mhm,
that just a little too much. If they left like bring two guests to priority pass at least, but I
right.
mean not even priority pass, you're the only bank not allowing at least two guests to priority pass.
Mhm,
So they took it a little bit too far, in my opinion. It's a very good card, and again, easy to justify. Pretty much the best travel card for single people, but that's the
mhm.
problem. Single, because
Yeah.
at that point that I have to pay another $125 just to bring another person. It's not that I can bring my kids, but not even
Right.
to priority pass. I mean, it's just they nerfed that just a little too hard for me to actually recommend the car for anyone that travels with at least one person. So it's
Right.
just impossible. I mean, so I was a huge fan, and in my book, prior all this mess, it was the American Express Platinum, Capital One Venture X, one and two.
Mhm,
CSR, it was not even the top two. Yeah. But then after this, it's just lost what made the car special, because people can say all they want about the 2x. Man, there's plenty of 2x cars.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
don't need to yeah, like $0 annual fee. I mean, that was not the advantage the Venture X has, because you can get the PenFed Power Cash, the Fidelity Visa, the Sulfide Visa, Mastercard. Those cards don't
Anything,
have
yeah.
foreign transaction fee and 2x. So that's not the superpower that the Venture X had. The power they had, it was the easy to justify card with the best lounge access for family, and it
Mhm,
lost it.
right.
So it's difficult to give a positive opinion. It's easy to justify, yeah. It's for solo travelers, yeah. Anything
This
about
goes
that,
back
yeah.
to that conversation that you were starting this off with though, right? It's like there's a massive difference between best and overall value and
Yeah,
justification, like how easy it is to
yeah,
justify a card. The Venture X is on the opposite end of the Platinum, where it's really easy to
Yeah,
justify technically,
yeah,
but has
but it's
very
not
low
bad.
upper limit.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the only upper limit that it really had before was the Capital One lounge access and priority pass access for
yeah,
your family. And now they don't have it.
yeah,
Well, they have it, but it's
yeah.
for one person. So yeah, that's the exact boat that I'm in. It's like even me with just
But
one partner, it's now doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make sense because I have to be clear. It's not that Capital One doesn't have good partners. Like they have the typical ones. They got Air Canada, they got Air France, they got Avios programs, but all of the banks have it. But
Yeah.
they have more. Citi got American Airlines. They got one to choice. They got
Mhm. One to
one to
four.
JetBlue.
Yeah.
Chase also have Hyatt. They have one to JetBlue and other airlines. So Amex also have better transfer partners. So
Yeah.
it's not that Capital One has bad transfer partners, but they're the worst when you compare to the other options available. So keeping a card that's only providing 2x and paying 400,
Yeah, exactly.
uh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly
it
how I
might
feel
be
about it.
easy to justify, right? But it's easy to justify you have one car, but if you already have 10 cars, it's going to be difficult just to go to
Yes.
book that $300 in the portal. I don't think it's worth it for someone that has many cars. And I was a huge
Yes.
fan of the Venture X. I talk even before I make a single video in the comments. I remember talking to Spencer about the Venture X and telling Spencer how great that car was, and
Mhm.
so it was just amazing. I
Yeah.
think they didn't make the right decision. I think they probably should have, I don't know, put the annual fee to 500, added another
Right.
benefit. Or if you were going to nerf that, at least let the people bring two to the priority pass. Because let's be real, there's not a Capital One lounge everywhere. They only got
Right.
like what, four? So it's not like a huge deal. It's not like Amex that got 25 or 30 Centurion lounges. So at least they should have kept that two guest policy. I know with the business version you can bring two guests,
But
but I think,
nobody's really getting that
but
one
yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
no, I
what do
agree.
you think about that?
I mean, yeah, so right now, it's funny how many people give like people just hate that I don't talk like super highly on the Venture X right now, but it's just because I mean it's exactly what you just said. I would reiterate a lot of what you just said. For me right now, as somebody that holds it, it feels like a $395 2x catch-all card that I can get positive value from, but just because I'm straight, I'm going to their portal to use it
Yeah,
and all of that, which I wouldn't do without it. I would just put it on, whatever, put it on the
nah,
platinum, find hotels, resort, something like that. Just do something different. So
yeah,
yeah, but that's only I have that opinion now because I have another
yeah.
premium travel credit card. If I was just getting started in the game
Mm,
and maybe I wanted to dip my toes in with the premium travel card, I was single still, all that
yeah,
kind of stuff. The Venture X is great still. But
yeah,
I think personally I've graduated away from that. And a lot of folks in the space have, which is why you see us talking about the Venture X a little bit more negatively than we would have in the past. But we all saw
yeah.
this coming. It was writing on the wall. It couldn't have been that good forever.
Yeah, yeah, it such a great card. I was a huge fan of the card, but now it just
Hmm.
doesn't make sense. It's gonna be for solo travelers, and it's hurting because the only multiplier is 2x. But I got like three 2x cards over there. Like I got
Hmm.
City Level Cash, I got the Blue Business Plus, I got the Navy Federal Cash, so many.
Right.
And then if you're gonna ask me, hey, do you rather get two City Thank You points, two American Express points, or Capital One miles? I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take the other two options before
Yeah.
taking the Capital One miles, and that's being honest.
Yeah, that's exactly what me and Luke were talking about last week, and people got upset about that. But it's just the truth right now. Speaking of point valuations, there's a comment up here by, I guess, Uploads is maybe what the name is supposed to be. I think this was back when we were talking about the platinum. So you were talking about earning the 80,000 points per year, and they're saying that Amex points are only good for international flights for short domestic flights. What do you have to say
Mm-mm.
about that?
Don't go for anything. If you're deep into this game, you will learn about airline alliances. Like one example, my next trip, I'm traveling with United, and I
Hmm.
was using MR points because I transferred to Air Canada and I'm taking 11 people to Denver using the Air Canada but flying United. So it's just the same, but the same thing can be done with Chase.
Yep.
This is not something special about American Express. So
Right.
when people say, "Well, Chase points are valued 2 cents," MS I don't know, 1.85 and Capital One 1.5. To me,
And
they're
yeah, it
all
doesn't make a
work the
difference.
same pretty much
Yeah.
because I'm not using their portal most of the time, rarely, never. I actually never.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm just going to transfer to Air Canada. So just was one example. So if I transfer one Capital Mile to Air Canada, one Chase Mile to Air Canada, and one Amex to Air Canada, it's the same value. It's the same
Yep.
thing. And you can use those alliances to do international trips, but also domestic trips.
Yeah.
So,
And not just short ones. It could be, any domestic trip. The other thing
yeah,
on that topic too is just that. So, like you just said, everybody, like in my opinion too, all the major transferable currencies are effectively the same value. They all
yeah,
are whatever 2 cents per point. You could call it whatever you want. It depends on your travel
yeah,
habits. So
yeah,
that's why you see us focusing so much, like as creators, focusing so much on these unique partnerships, like Chase and Hyatt,
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
that's competitive. City with American
yeah,
Airlines and City or Choice. Um,
yeah.
Capital One doesn't really have that. They have the Japan Airlines now, but it's
But
not at the same
it's
ratio as
not.
Built.
Even with JetBlue, they don't have the same ratio, and
Yep.
even with Choice, like Citi does it better, and Wells Fargo transferring to Choice. With Choice is actually pretty much equal on higher value, and they have more properties.
Hmm.
And I've used that program 1 to 2. Capital One just don't have that. That
Yep.
little thing that will, make me say no. I'd rather have Capital One miles. I just, yeah.
Yeah. It looks
It
like
lost the yeah, it lost the superpower the ecosystem had. It was the free authorized user, launch access. That was the Capital One thing. They don't have it. Well, they have to do something to stay
yeah.
competitive.
I agree. Yeah, just looking through the other comments about just points currencies in general right now. Holden was saying that City's underrated, but it's annoying that you need an annual fee card for good transfer access. That's one of those things that personally I don't really care if I'm paying $95 for
Yeah,
transfer access. It's nice that you can get it
yeah,
for free with other currencies, but like that
yeah,
I actually in the video that I'm releasing Monday, I talk a lot about how like the Strata Premier and the Sapphire Preferred to me are no annual fee cards. You book one trip with their transfer partners, you cover the annual fee for years just because of the amount of value you get from that. Um, but yeah, what do you
but
think about that?
I mean, even with the annoying transfer rate, if you don't pay an annual fee, so let's suppose that. So this card earns five CT thank you points.
Hmm.
If you transfer that to American Airlines, it's 3.5 American Airlines miles per dollar. So it's just freaking great. It's no way to look at it. It's $0. So,
Right, because you can, yeah. What you're saying is that you can transfer from the no annual fee cards with City
yeah,
to certain
yeah,
partners. It's at a lower rate, but if
yeah,
you could do the math on it if you wanted to.
yeah. I mean, still, but I'm I'm more than happy to pay $95
Right.
to transfer one to one with the city ecosystem. I mean, right now, I think they have the best ecosystem. To be honest, I
Yeah.
am an American Express fan. So if you tell me you want 100,000 MXMR points, 100,000 City Thank You points, I will pick the City Thank You points
Mm,
before taking Chase points, American Express points, Capital
mm,
One. For me, they have the best transfer options. That's it. It's not even
yeah.
close.
That's a great thing that City has turned into, right? Like that was not the case 6 months ago. Like it's just
And
they've done
choice,
so good with that.
choice, choice is so good. 1 to 2, one City Thank You point to two choice is just great. It's high at value. Uh,
Hmm.
so
And they have the I prefer now, which is also, I mean, it's a small program, but it
also,
is also really good
yeah,
value.
still, yeah, City's killing it.
Hmm.
They're doing a great job.
I have one big question for you. It's not on this on the comments here, but one
Yeah,
of the things that I've found that's pretty great, going back to the platinum versus like other premium cards. One of the things that I've found great about the Sapphire Reserve that I wish was more viable with the other lenders, including Amex, is that for me, if I wanted to use like the edit credit, for example, yes, it's two $250 credits split up. You can use them back to back, whatever. Now it's all good. Um, the nice thing about Chase is that you can split your payment method at checkout. So I can use $250 towards the edit credit on my stay and then redeem for the rest of that stay at 2 cents per point with Chase points, which is a great redemption rate in general.
yeah.
What
Mm.
Amex, like whenever you're booking with fine hotels and resorts, you're not going to be redeeming your Amex points for 1 cent per point. You're probably paying out of pocket. Can you just kind of explain your like rationale behind like the fine hotels and
Well,
resorts program compared to the rest?
well, at least with like when the Chase made the changes, that's it's going to start January.
Mhm.
It's not right now. I think that was a very good change. It's also good that you can use your points, right,
Right.
and pay the toll. But when you start looking, Chase is looking like a point strap. Like you're just gonna earn every point and use all your points on the
Yes. Oh
portal
yeah.
because they're gonna. Why do you think this is becoming more like a better deal for them than the 1.5? No, I'd rather give you 2 cents.
Yeah,
You're
because
not
they're
getting
making
two
money.
cents per point.
Yeah.
You're not making, and then you're spending every single point that you have in that portal. So everything is staying there with Chase. With Amex, I don't worry. I just spend a night, book $300, whatever. I stay my
Mhm.
night, but I use my points in Air Canada, Air France,
Right.
and I'm getting 5, 6, 7 cents per point. So I know it looks nice on the surface, that thing with the edit, and you can use your points, and you're just going to be earning Chase points to use at the Chase portal. So what's the deal? Now you're not going to be able to get as many offers with Chase. They're cracking down on offers. So what's
Right.
going to happen eventually? So eventually you're just going to be earning what, 20,000, 30,000 Chase points, and they're going for a one night at the edit to use a credit. So basically, it's don't get me wrong, I like the changes that they made, but I
Mhm.
just see the Chase portal, the whole thing like a point trap that you're just gonna be spending pretty much every point that you have there with their points,
Yeah.
their portal, their selected partners, which are pretty much all the same hotel brands. They're not that
Right.
many.
Yeah.
With United, you're going to be flying on United a lot because that's where you're getting that points pool, because that's what I saw. So basically, you're earning Chase points, and Chase is going to be telling you the entire year how to use your points. I know it sounds great. It's not for me. Maybe for a beginner, that easy to use the points. Yeah, it's easy to use the points, easy to use the portal and benefits, but I see it as a big points trap. With the Amex, I use my $300 hotel stay, and I forget about the portal. But next,
Right.
so
I guess the question is though, is there not a way to combine these two ecosystems well? Because like honestly, since I've had the reserve, that is what I've still been using the portal a lot with Chase
yeah,
for the
yeah.
1.5 cent per point guaranteed domestic flights mainly. Now I've kind of shifted from domestic flights to the edit collection hotels, which I don't like that it's being siphoned tighter and tighter into their ecosystem. But at the same time,
Yeah.
I'm not like drastically changing my strategy. It's still kind of portal with Chase, but I use my Amex points for all those big international
Yeah.
redemptions. So is there an
Yeah.
argument to like still earning both, or do you think just going all in with like Amex is a better move?
I think Amex is the more flexible right now. I think it was a huge nerf when they took out. I mean, they're still available, but I'm just talking about when the changes, come through, like the 1.5. That was beneficial for pretty much everyone because
Yes, I agree.
I could use I could use that for any flight, for any
Yes.
hotel. That was great, and that's why they remove it. No, they're not giving you 2 cents per point. Trust me, it's a lot more cheaper to them doing it this way, and they're specifically telling, no, only for this,
Yeah.
and this is small sample. So
Yeah.
I like what they're doing, but it's just not for me. I just can't imagine be earning points. I mean, if I go to Vegas and Denver, yeah, I'm all for it because hell, you can stay at a Grand Hyatt in Denver for less than $200. So the edit program is going to be great. If you go to Vegas, yeah, because pretty much every hotel is going to be $200 a night. But if you want to go anywhere else, things start getting more complicated. And yeah, I just
That's where
don't
that
like
points earning starts really mattering.
and then I have to think about the other people. Like the other people don't get referrals.
Right.
The other people don't apply as many cars that we do. So it's going to be simple for them to use their points, but they're just going to be using it there and dumping every single point to their portal,
Yeah.
and not even having the option because they will see the boost. Well, I have to use it there because I'm getting 2 cents per point, but they're using a more expensive flight that they were not going to book if they didn't have the benefit. They're going to be staying at a hotel that they will never stay because supposedly they're getting the better value. So I think it's a huge point trap value.
Yeah. It,
But
it it's really does come down to like your personal travel habits, because there are
Yeah,
two. I think there's two different sides to Chase. Me and Luke talked about this last week, where Chase is great for the beginner or intermediate, kind of just
yeah,
like you were talking about, where it's just
yeah,
a flexible ecosystem. It's easy to understand. You're not
yeah,
necessarily stressed about getting 1.7
yeah,
cents per point versus two. None of that stuff really matters for that stage. And
yeah,
then there's like almost like going to the other side. There's like the full advanced strategy where you're using
yeah,
some loopholes and stuff like that to get a lot of value. Or maybe you're applying for a lot of ink cards, which they are kind of cracking down on. But I just actually got approved for another one, which is
yeah,
so for me it's working. But
yeah.
uh,
Yeah,
like
I
so
know
there's
the
that other
trick. I
side where
told
you
you.
can earn
Yeah,
them for now.
yeah,
But if they crack down on that, and again, yeah, if they are siphoning you into their portal more and more and more, it doesn't bode super well for their future. And that's why I'm like really hopeful that Amex isn't going to, they're already, kind of cracking down with the like as high as offers and stuff like that. So you see that they're going the same direction, but it's like, yeah, those, once you get into that advanced world, like all the stuff we'll talk about, like at the meetup and stuff, that's where you can make any currency pretty valuable, especially chasing Amex. But I
yeah.
definitely resonate with what you're saying too.
So
Um,
I do like what Chase is doing to the CSR.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, that is you have to be more careful now. Like before the 1.5, if they kept that and they didn't invented that points boost stuff,
Yeah,
oh man, yeah, that was great. Yeah,
I
that
know. I
but
loved it.
no, yeah, that was a
The
huge
honestly,
because
sorry, I was just going to say that
uh,
honestly, the fact that I was an existing CSR card holder makes their
yeah,
ecosystem so
yep,
much more valuable for me, because I have whatever a couple 100,000 points with Chase that I can still use at
yeah,
that rate, which is really nice. That covers
yeah,
my travel
yeah,
with domestic airlines for a bit. But for those that are applying fresh now and they're just getting into the ecosystem, it's a lot harder to want to
yeah.
work your way up that ladder. You might just stop at the Sapphire Preferred and basically be done after that. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
interesting.
I think the CSR is a better car now than it was.
Yeah,
But now it's not a card that I can have with the platinum card. It has to be
right.
one of them. Yeah, yeah. Even myself, like even I that can get referrals and all that stuff and talk about credit cards. Yeah, I just can't deal with that many coupons into cards. It's just I don't want to.
Hmm.
So it has to be either the platinum or the CSR. And well, I picked the best choice.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, I can't say much. So here's actually let's look at this real quick. Uploads, I think still maybe is missing some of the stuff that we're talking about, because they're still arguing that there's no good value for domestic travel with American Express, but which isn't true. But maybe you can just explain on this specific point, Caesar, how MR points could be used for hotels, domestically, for example.
Well, you can transfer one to two to Hilton if you want to do that. And with the transfer bonus, you can get one to 2.5, one to 2.6. And you can get over sent easily. So even if you multiply by two with the lowest value, zero point 0.6, which I value Hilton points more, much higher. But even if you put it 1.6, you're getting over 1.2 cents per point. And when you tell me, no, but Hyatt is 2 cents per point. First, that's BS because I've gotten redemptions below 2 cents per point. Go find me a hotel in Denver with 2 cents per point Hyatt. That's not always the case. It's going down, and then I can earn at least 5 to 10 times more Hilton points than Hyatt points, and that's the reality. So sometimes it's not just about the face value of 1 to 1. It's the amount of points you can get in the
Yep.
ecosystem because it's difficult if you're not buying gift cards with the change in cash or applying for in cards like every 3 months. How you're getting higher points? I can
Yeah,
get a lot
that's
of
how I'm
I
doing it.
can I
Ink
can get a
cards.
lot of yeah, I can get a lot of Hilton points
Yeah.
much easier, like 3 times the rate or 4 times the rate.
Yeah, and I can give an example too on this point where so for the meetup actually in Vegas 2 years ago, the creator meetup in Vegas, I stayed at it's the Waldorf there, I believe. Is one of those over there by the Aria. And that's a Hilton property. I had no way to book any hotel in Vegas on points, because at that, unless you do it through like a collection like the edit, like we're talking about, which I didn't have the card back then, all that. The only option I had was Amex to Hilton. I had no transfer bonus, so just 1 to 2. And for the longest time getting into the space, I had heard you don't want to do that because it's not Hilton's too worthless. You don't want to do that and convert your Amex points. But I knew that probably wasn't going to be the case. I went and looked at this one specific property, and I ended up getting For the Hilton cent per point rate at that hotel without the transfer, the 1 to 2
Yeah,
rate would have been 0.9 cents per point. So now that I got a 1 to 2 with Amex, that's
yeah,
1.8 cents per point for a Hilton property. That would have cost me, it was like 2 grand a night or something crazy for that hotel, which I wouldn't recommend doing, but
yeah,
it just
yeah,
goes to show that there are plenty of options. And again, you have to just do the research and figure out
y-
where you're staying. And,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. And this card is not an American Express card, but this is a 10x Hilton or ISG earning card because you can buy points at half a cent. So if this is earning 1 cent per point, I give you 5 points per dollar. So this is 10 ISG point or 10 Hilton points per dollar. You just can't do that with Hyatt. That's the reality. So the Hilton ISG programs are the most versatile programs that you can implement a cashback strategy with points and miles.
mm.
Uh, Too many
let's
opportunities there.
Yeah, there really are, and that's like what I'm excited for the meetup for. Honestly, is because like even just talking to Luke off of the camera, the stuff that I'm finding out that I can do, which I'm implementing right now, I'm like,
Mm,
"Well, I didn't even know about this, But he finds that out from a meetup, and it's like, well, that's so cool. I do want to
yeah.
say, hi, I know that we saw this is so long ago now, but the Jordan Rules for Credit was in here. One of the channel members. Um, oh, speaking of the devil, Luke just joined in saying,
Hey,
"What's up? Let's go."
mi hermano Luke,
Uh,
can't wait to see you, brother.
right.
Tomorrow, that's tomorrow because we're going tomorrow to the Caribe Hilton, mi hermano. So
Oh,
tomorrow
y'all are lucky.
tomorrow we tomorrow we're gonna have some piña coladas over there by the pool.
I'll be there. I'll be there Friday, and I'll come join y'all. I'm gonna have to bum it at
Yeah,
y'all's beach. Hopefully, they let me in. I don't gotta. I'm not
yeah,
staying there.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
get.
yeah. I added my son, and he's not going, so they probably gonna give me a bracelet. So I gave it to you.
Nice. Okay, perfect. See if I can buy it off him or something. Luke said Carlos is
And
super excited.
but but you can pass as my son too. Like I'm
There
old,
we
you're
go.
young. Yeah, but then you're 8 feet tall, so it's gonna be difficult. That's not your son. That might be your wife's son, but that's not yours.
Yeah, we'll call me the stepson or something. Redheaded
Yeah,
stepchild over
yeah, yeah,
here.
yeah.
Let's see. There's a lot of other folks that joined in, and yeah, we had Angel Angel joined earlier as
Angel,
well.
Angel.
Let's see. There's so many people that have joined. I'm trying to like keep up with it, but we're having good conversation, so I don't like
Yeah,
pausing in the middle. Let's see. Justin was agreeing with you saying that 1 to 2 choices equaled like the Hyatt transfers. Um,
I
Jay
done it,
Colts.
but sometimes people complain about things they never done. So, but
Yeah,
the ones have done it, they know. They're like, I know the value you can get with Choice. I know the value you can get with Hilton's and many programs.
that is one thing that I think is still like just extremely underrated in our space, and a lot of times why I outsource topics like this to you or to Luke or somebody like that who is experiencing these cards firsthand, because there are a lot of people in this credit card community. I love this space; it's amazing, but there are a lot of
Yeah,
people that think that they know a lot, and they do like
yeah,
factually know a lot about these programs,
yeah,
but they're not experiencing it, and that's like where the
yeah,
real difference lies, and that's the danger of like just trusting
yeah.
anything you hear online. Like you really have to experience this stuff.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. CJ joined a little bit late. CJ Bautista. What's up, y'all?
Ah,
Sorry I'm
CJ.
late. Awesome. Totally looking forward to his red eye. Nice. Yeah. Luckily, I'm not on a red eye, but I'm leaving pretty early for my liking on Friday. Um, okay, cool. We had iGimme join just now saying Amex Plat is king. Back to the
Agree.
topic at hand
I,
here.
I agree. I agree
So,
100%.
Caesar, let me ask you this: as somebody who eventually wants to, of course, get into this whole, really get into the Amex ecosystem a bit more, maybe I am considering getting the gold card back in my setup at some point. Let's actually be super specific. Let's say that maybe the gold does make sense to get in my setup. I've already gotten a welcome offer on the gold. That means I can't get an offer on the green, for example. Would you recommend that me personally go get a card like the platinum for a high welcome offer and then start working this downgrade upgrade path like you have done?
Yeah,
Or for
yeah,
the
yeah,
majority of people, what would you
yeah,
do?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because if you get the platinum with the no lifetime language, you're getting 175,000 MR points, and then you play the game, and you still gonna earn those 80,000 MR points, but you
Hmm.
don't have to add the goal. So you're getting the car for the benefits and 80,000 MR points every year, and enjoying the benefits. And it's going to keep it simple because in your case you're very deep into the Chase ecosystem, so it's going to be hard to take you out of there. So and I'm not. I mean, I enjoy Chase. Like I love
Yeah.
Chase points, City points. I love all the points. You know. But so I will start with one. Get the best offer. No lifetime language.
I guess with the
There's
platinum, since
many.
I've never gotten it, I could just get a normal offer on it too. I don't even need no lifetime language,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But then sometimes it's not like it says up to 175K.
Right,
But
right.
if you want to, if you want to make sure you're getting the 175K, I will go that route. Yeah,
What about a no
the
lifetime language on like the gold? If the gold is the one that like, because right now if I have the Sapphire Reserve, would you just go for a no lifetime on the gold instead, or get the platinum still?
I get every no lifestyle language I see. I don't mind. I can have three golds, two platinums. I can have I think I had the Delta cards like three or four times, the gold like two or three times, business gold two times. I get them all because
So do you
that's the thing.
whenever you're doing that, are you kind of like, because presumably you're not going to be using like all, like you said, you're not going to be using all the benefits on all these cards all the time. So is it mainly just you taking the math between the value of those offers and the annual fee? Like you're not really worried about the other
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah, I'm not worried. I don't worry about credits most of the times with Amex because the amount of points that I get, like if you're giving me 200,000 MR points for the business goal, I'm not going to Office Max to use $20. You already gave me 200,000 MR points.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not going to use Grubhub for what? I never use that
Yeah.
thing. And so you're giving me 200,000 and he already gave me like twice. Why should I be going to the department store to use some weird credit? Nah, I'm already
Yeah.
winning.
That's
Next
such an interesting
next year,
approach with it.
next year I do it again.
Yeah. I've never like I honestly this is like the first time I've heard of anybody like describe their strategy with Amex this way because a lot of times it is like the I mean obviously whenever I'm talking about them in videos it's like long-term value. You really do need to be using the credits of course if you're only going to get the cards once. But if you're
With the
playing the game like
platinum, I do.
this,
Like with the
yeah,
platinum, I use like I mentioned, I can justify the platinum how I travel. So I
right.
use the United Travel Bank, pretty much all the benefits. Well, I haven't bought those yellow Lululemon leggings, but
Yeah.
about or ring, that man tracking ring, I haven't bought it. But those stupid things, I just don't deal with those. But the other stuff, yeah, I deal with it, but I don't go out of my way. I just get so many points with the ecosystem that I don't have to worry about the credits. I don't have to. But
Yeah.
I use the ones, like the major ones, like the FHR credit. Yeah, I'm gonna use it. 100 Resi. I travel, so I can use the Resi credit when I travel. So yeah, those benefits like United Travel Bank and all that stuff. Uber, yeah, it's easy because Uber you can do Uber Eats, and here we got a couple. Uber Eats. Yes, I use those. Streaming services, yeah. But I'm really just the car is already giving me 80,000 points. I'm not gonna damage my brain just thinking I didn't use this credit this month. With the
Yeah.
business goal, I don't bother at all. Like I get the 200,000 MR points, and I don't even look at the benefits. I don't use the car again until
Yeah.
next year. I cancel.
Yeah, that's such an interesting way to go about it. Yeah, I mean, I completely get that perspective. Have you ever like sat down and done the math to see exactly how much you actually have gotten in value from like the platinum in a normal year?
It's just no, it's too much because like only one car is giving me 80,000 MR points. The business goal every year is 200. One time was 110,000 MR points. The second year was 200,000 MR points. Delta cars, Hilton cars. I've gotten quite a few Hilton cars with the no lifestyle language. I, like for
Yeah,
example, I'm taking my entire family for a very long vacation in Denver, and I spent 900,000 Hilton points, and that was easy. If you see Luke deploy over 1 million Hilton points for his. You just can't earn that many points with other ecosystems.
yeah.
That's the thing. I mean,
Mhm. Yeah, it's I mean, it is true. That's something that I think like as you continue to level up in the game, that's something that you realize becomes really important. I mean, you can chase
yeah,
welcome offers from each lender over time, which is kind of like what a lot of us do is like, you
yeah,
start with the chase, get all the 524, get all your chase cards out of the way. Maybe you move to City after that because they're inquiry sensitive, Capital One before you get too many cards. And then eventually I think that's where the chase stuff kind of comes into play. So for people in like the demographic of like you and Luke and these folks that have been able
yeah,
to do the game for a while and have the spend and all this kind of stuff for it, that's where the Amex cards become so powerful. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
see that definitely being in my future. I think even just as a content creator, honestly, like the idea of getting the platinum sooner rather than later, like and holding it with the Sapphire Reserve, I think just makes sense for my situation. But I'm in a privileged position to be able to do that, so that's why I
Yeah,
don't recommend others do it. But
yeah,
I would like to start trying out these strategies a little bit
yeah.
more, so that that portion of
It,
my audience gets to see it from my perspective.
I think it's important because I mean you got lots of followers and to provide that experience is going to be helpful. I'm not trying to
Hmm.
convince you, but once you do those things a couple of times, you will start to see things differently, at least from the Amex part. And yeah, I will never recommend anyone to start with American Express. That's I
Right.
never say that. I rarely recommend the Platinum or even the
Hmm.
Gold. But if they ask me, yeah, the Gold is the best dining card. The Platinum is the best travel card. If they ask me,
Right.
if they ask me which one is the best, well, that's the best. It might not work for you, but that's the best. So I,
Yeah.
so and someone new, I will tell them go to Capital One because they're not gonna prove you. If you already got like
Right.
7 or 8 cards, go to Capital One, get the duo, whichever combination, Venture One, Venture or Venture X, get that duo out of the way. Then you probably want to go to City, and I know I won't apply to Chase yet. Like I will get City cards, I will get Capital One cards, and then I'll do some gardening, hit Chase very hard, and then at the end game you just go
Mhm.
Amex.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. I like that order as well. I think that yeah, most people I'm thinking about talking to, like in my normal day to day life, I usually start with the Chase path just because. Well, first of all, I live in Texas, so it's like all these partners make a lot of sense for us.
Yeah,
And also it's maybe a bit of an easier ecosystem to understand than like Capital One if you're not
yeah,
well versed. But
yeah.
no, I like that path too. Again, depends on maybe where you're
Approvals.
located and what
It,
your
it,
goals
it's
are.
just it's just that Capital One becomes quite difficult to get approved for cars once you get quite a few cars.
Yeah.
And then with City is the same thing. So you have to be like 0 applications in 6 months. Better if it's 0 and 12.
Hmm.
So if you get rid of those difficult to get ecosystems, and if the guy is playing the game, because if somebody tell me I just want one ecosystem and that's it, well, okay, Chase, and that's it, stay there.
Right.
But if someone wants to play the game, I would say go Capital One, go City, go Chase, and then at the end pick up every MX card every year because you can get them every year.
Yeah, I think that's such an important thing to just note in general here because I think it's really fun in this space to kind of go back and forth between these different lenders and kind of pick a side and do all of these things. Say this card's better than this one, and I'll die on this hill kind of thing. Like we all do this in a sense. It's like this weird, I don't know what it is, like the team travel versus cashback, all of that. We all do that in this space, but I think what's really important to understand is that all of us are on the same team of taking money from the banks. All of us, that's all we're
Yep.
doing. So it's like what order you do it in, which ones you like a little bit more than the others. None of that really matters.
Yeah.
If you're committed to
Yeah.
playing this game and getting as many cards and everything as possible, all this kind of goes out the window. So that's why
Yeah.
it's like it's those balances that we have to kind of strike in like making our videos and stuff like that where I'm speaking to somebody that might want to keep these cards long term, for example, with the premium
Yeah.
ones. And it's like, well, then you have to make a different decision than what we're talking about here, where it's like, okay, even though I'm not in the Amex
Mhm.
ecosystem yet, getting 175,000 points on a welcome offer right now, and then 80,000 points per year with them outside of that, like that, of course, I'm going to go that route at some point, you know?
Without even using any of the benefits. So
Right, exactly, yeah.
this
If yeah, I'm
so
very curious to see demographic-wise, like, if I get those same upgrade offers as consistently. I would love to hear from the rest of the community
no,
too,
no,
if they're playing that.
you don't you I mean you just have to go pick the offer. You don't have They're not gonna offer. You just go there and look for the card. Like if you already got the green and you downgrade to the green, you go to the MX homepage and go look for the MX Gold card. And you will see the button upgrade and the offer is gonna be right there. And it's gonna be there right next day.
So you
You
don't it's
don't have
not
to wait for anything.
you don't think it's targeted through your, like, IP or anything? You think
No,
it's
no, no,
just
no, no,
anybody?
no, 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 no. Everyone. Anybody,
Interesting.
anyone.
Because I remember, yeah, I've seen stuff like that with, I think, my business gold or something, or maybe it was
Yeah,
my
but
gold
that's
card
for the
before I
bad.
canceled.
Yeah, no, but yeah, but that time is different. Well, because you're just gonna see one layer. If you have the gold, you will only see the platinum upgrade. But
Right,
if you go
right.
down, then you will get both. But you don't have to like ask for anything. You don't have to call, chat. You just
Mm,
enter the website, look for the card next tier. Like if you got the green, the
yeah.
next tier is the gold. You can go for the platinum and they will give you 50,000, but then you lost 30,000 on the way. You want to get both of,
Right.
so you
Yeah.
just go next day. You don't have to wait even a week or something. No, next day you just go enter the website, you just go look for the car and accept the offer, and that's it. You spend $1,000, you get the points. I try to wait next closing day and pay the next annual fee,
Hmm.
which is going to be discounted for the next, for the platinum because it's prorated. And every month that it passes, the annual fee on the platinum is going to be less because you didn't have it. So it's even better.
Right.
You get more value,
Yeah.
and the game goes deeper. You can go even deeper what I'm explaining with that
Hmm.
prorated fee stuff. But then you look for the other one at 50,000. You don't have to ask for anything. It's right there. It's
Yeah.
not targeted. It's not an email. You just go look for the card that you want to upgrade to. You accept the offer and you get the points. It gets
Yep.
difficult if you have two cards. Like if you got the gold and the platinum at the same time, then you have to downgrade both. So it makes it a little more difficult. And I wouldn't recommend that path if someone is going to start the strategy. I will say go
Hmm.
simple, go for the first one, just
Right.
one and do it. And once you get hang of how to do it a couple of times, then you just can go full.
Yeah, and then remember also family language with these cards, right? Like technically, you got to work your way up the ladder for welcome offer purposes. A lot of people skip the green and go to the
Yeah.
gold, which is what I think literally like most people do. But you could work
It,
your way
it's
all the way
good.
up the
Yeah.
ladder, I guess. But
Yeah.
no lifetime language makes that, I guess, less of a big deal. The question
Yeah.
is if they pull the rug out of
Yeah.
that, then it's like, well, shoot, now I'm screwed. So
Man, I doubt it. I received so many no lifetime languages. Danny the Deal Guru has plenty. The Points Guy, so many, just too many. Every year you can get a couple. You just have to identify which ones are targeted. If it says targeted, I don't even bother. But then next week, you're probably gonna find one that is not targeted. And
yeah,
then
I haven't had
even
luck with the targeted ones that I find online.
I don't mess with those at
Yeah.
all. Like I go for the ones that I it's not targeted, it's right there. I and yeah, that's yeah, so many offers with American Express.
Yeah. I think there is that balance. Like I said, I think future proofing yourself can be good. Like not just starting with the platinum and like, not
Yeah.
getting the welcome offers on the other ones. It's good to go that route, but also right now we have the options. It's just like future proofing is always helpful if you have the time for it, and
Yeah,
we
the
should.
green I will skip. The green I will skip it if I'm playing the
Yeah.
game because like I said, once you downgrade to the green, even if you don't get the 40,000 MR points, well you're getting 30,000 to upgrade it. So the difference is not that much. It's only
Right.
10,000 MR points.
Right.
So if I'm gonna play the downgrade upgrade play, I will skip the green altogether.
Yep. That's kind of how I've done it too. Looks like Tyler joined in a little bit ago. Tyler Grace. Awesome. Thank you for joining us today. Another channel member. We got a lot of channel members chatting today. Let's see. There's a lot of chats going on here. It looks like whenever we're talking about the beginner cards in general or like beginner ecosystems. Alonzo was saying that the Blue Cash Every Day was his first credit card and still most used. On the cashback side, that could be viable. I have a buddy that started with the Blue Cash Every Day, and it could work.
70
Um,
$75. If he wants to play the game with that card, he can downgrade to the everyday, and next day he can get $75 off the annual fee. Like it will give you like $75 to upgrade back
to the Blue Cash Preferred. So
every
yeah,
year. Every year.
yeah.
Yeah, you go downgrade, and then next day you go upgrade back, and they will give you $75.
Hmm. Let's see here. Where was that at? Dem was saying business gold I use for gift cards at Best Buy for 4x at least until I downgrade or cancel it. I've heard that that's a little bit risky with Amex. I don't know if you've gone down that
No,
road,
with
Cesar,
them,
but
no, I just don't bother with business. The business goal doesn't make sense for me. I just get the 200,000 MR points and I never use it again.
yeah, that's kind of how I've treated mine too. I've activated the credits. I use the Grubhub, but like I don't like need
Nah,
it. I honestly
no.
wouldn't even use really Grubhub that much if I didn't have Grubhub Plus for free. Well, Amazon Prime gives it to you, so that's nice. But yeah, it's
In my case, when I get a car for an intro offer, I rarely bother using every benefit.
mm,
It's just it, the point was to get. I mean, I'm gonna use a free night certificate if I got a car,
right.
and
Yeah.
but those little things, $20, $15, I don't got time for that. At least I got time for that. If I got the gold and the platinum, well, that's $25. I can use Uber.
Right.
So yeah, I use those. But for those cars that it's just like intro offers, I don't bother much with those.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I'm on like that other side where I think maybe it's like a scarcity mindset thing or something where I'm like I always am activating basically all the credits
Yeah.
even if I wouldn't have used them before, but I don't take those into account for my effective annual fee calculations for years to come.
No,
So I think I have like a
no,
I
I don't.
compare I think you and I our strategies between you and I are different in the sense of like
Different.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just different. That's really all it is. But like
Different.
they
It's
both
different.
work and that's the cool thing about
Yeah.
it. That's what's so cool about
Yeah.
this game
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
we both are profiting a ton from the credit card game. It just in different ways.
You, I'm also old, so I don't have that much patience.
Yeah.
Patience, so I'm
You're
just
not
not
old,
gonna
Cesar.
bother
Come on
with
now.
it. But yeah, it's. I mean, it works. Like we all like pretty much you can say, well, whatever works for you, and
Mhm.
that's 100 correct.
Yeah.
So Spencer's strategy is never going to be wrong because it's his strategy and it's working for him. So the same applies to me.
Mhm.
But I do put like a very clear path. Like this card is for the intro offer. I don't care about it.
Yeah.
I just I like block. As soon as I get that offer, I'm getting the next offer. I'm not worried about
Yeah.
any benefit. Yeah, I'm just give me
I
the
guess another way to
next.
think about, like, your strategy is in a sense, you're almost, like, buying points with annual fees in a lot
Yeah,
of like, for those certain cards. There's ones that,
yeah,
like you said, like the platinum where you're getting positive
yeah,
value from the credits, all that. But for a lot of these cards, you're
yeah,
almost buying points with annual fees at
yeah,
a very
yeah.
discounted rate.
Because yeah, 200 MR points for $325 any day. Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's I just kind of piece that together. I'm like, yeah, that's basically what I mean, because like buying points in general with like IHG and Hilton is something that a lot of people do, and that's a great value. Hit a welcome offer,
yeah,
get a ton of points for half off,
yeah,
basically. Like that's great. You're doing that in a similar way
yeah,
with Amex points, which is a
yeah,
more valuable
yeah.
currency.
And and even like the Delta Business Goal, I think I got it like 3 times, 2 times.
Wow.
That's no annual fee on the first year. So that's
Yeah.
what 90,000 Delta miles. So it's not even paying for that. The Hilton Honors, I got them several times. That's no annual fee. So they're just most of the time
Yeah.
they're gifting me points.
That's awesome. Here's a question from Max earlier. I wanted to touch on real quick.
Mhm.
He was talking about how Luke and I, or maybe it was just me, I don't know. One of these ranking videos I've done recently, I put Wells Fargo in A tier as an issuer, and he was asking if you're not recommending looking at others besides like the Capital One, Citi, Chase, and Amex, or are you open to these other lenders too?
Well, I get every car for the Woofer. All right. But if I'm gonna be like
Committing to an
it's hard.
ecosystem?
Yeah, it's hard to sell Wells Fargo because they have very good cars, but that's about it. Once you get those cars, you're not getting anything else. Like it's only like
Hmm.
3, 4 cars, and that's it. So how you going to generate points? So you have to be spending $100,000, $200,000 a year to generate points to take your family to a trip, because you just can't earn that many points unless you are a very high spender. If you are a very high
Hmm.
spender, you're moving a lot of money. Yeah, because the cars are great, but then it's like going back to the topic with the Capital One transfer options. Well, Wells has fewer and more difficult to actually, get the same value that Capital One, American Express, and Citi. So I wouldn't It's not that Wells Fargo is bad or their cars is bad, but it will be like in the bottom right now. If I'm gonna put there like ecosystems points, I would say
Hmm.
Citi. I have to say Chase and Amex, depending on your travel style, are like
Yeah.
1A, 1B. It's just depends. I can get the same value with both, but with Citi, I can get better value than Amex and
Hmm.
Chase. So it will be Citi, Chase, or Amex, and Capital One, and last place is gonna be Wells Fargo. Yes.
Right. But yeah, again, back to the very beginning of your statement there. I'll still get their cards for the welcome offers. So it's not like we're not talking about these lenders as like once. If you
Mhm.
don't get cards from them, then you shouldn't be getting cards at all. Like you should be getting
Yeah,
them from
yeah,
basically everybody you can. Just make
yeah,
sure that your plan allows you to get those cards without being locked out because of application rules and stuff like that that we talked about earlier in
yeah.
the live. Um,
The same thing
let's
happens with
see.
Citi because Citi has a great ecosystem, great transfer options. But once you get their four cards, you're done. I mean, you just how are you going to earn points? It has to be to spend. So you will
Hmm.
need an ecosystem like Chase or American Express that you can, frequently get offers. Because yeah, everyone can play this game for the first 3 or 4 years and say, no, I'm traveling for free. But what happens with that bank dries out? You have to move. You just
Yeah.
can't stay there because with City, Wells, and even Capital One, what happens? once you're done with those offers. How are you
Yeah.
going to generate points? Are you spending
Every
100, $200,000?
right.
No,
No.
but then you're gonna need Chase and American Express eventually. No matter
Right.
what, no matter who you are. If you want to generate points, you need info offers. And the two ecosystems that have many offers are American Express and Chase. That's the reality of the game.
Yeah. That's like a really good point. Yeah, because it's like what City and Capital One, it's like every 4 years, and now Capital One's already really restrictive with the
So,
venture cards, and it's just not like worth even keeping track of barely.
so
Um, yeah,
because I mean, you can have great cars, but if I cannot generate 200,000 MR points or 200,000 points, where I'm going, I'm just gonna
yeah,
stay at La Quinta one weekend
yeah,
in La Quinta every year.
yeah.
Nah,
Let's see what other people are saying here. Let's see. Riff Raff. My $695 annual fee posts next week. I wonder if I should do the up and down trick or ask for a retention offer. We kind of talked on this already, but sounds like the up and
yeah.
down trick is the better approach.
If you want 80,000 MR points, you have to do the trick. But if you do the trick and you go up, you're gonna pay the new annual fee. Retention offer for me, I never ask for those. I always been playing the game like for over 3 years. I don't even ask or try to get any retention offer. I play the game.
Yeah, and the retention offers, like I said, for me, have well, at least with the business
Yeah,
gold and the gold before I cancel it again, have dried up. So I don't know
yeah,
if that's really even an option these days. See, like this stuff here, Vincent was talking about business gold, flexible business credit is great for staples. A small
yeah,
gift card purchase works. That's an option, but it sounds like
yeah.
for somebody like you, Caesar, you're not going to be going once a month
It's
to
40.
Staples for a $20
It,
gift card.
it's 45 minutes from home, like the nearest
Right.
one. So I'm not gonna drive 45 minutes for a gift card. It
Yeah.
have to be like a $500 gift card, and I will
Yeah.
like 200, something like that, but not for $20, 25.
Yeah. And that, I
Yeah.
guess, only covers the $240 worth of the fee as is. So,
Sometimes we have to remember that time is our most valuable asset, and I'm not gonna waste it for $20.
yeah.
Spending 2 hours of my life for
I
twenty
think that's one of
dollars.
those lessons you learn to like over time, and maybe that's a difference in perspective too from a lot of like my audience that might be younger compared
Yeah,
to somebody
yeah,
like yourself who's gotten to experience all of this. You're like, you don't see the value in that as much as like we're sitting here trying to like scrape pennies back on these cards,
yeah,
and it's like that's just
yeah.
for somebody at your stage, it just doesn't. You'd much rather
Yeah, it
spend
doesn't
time with
make
your
sense.
kids or go
Mm.
travel or do something else.
Yeah, I'd rather help my wife, white TV with my wife and my
hmm
kids. Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
see here. Max saying, really interesting discussion about different setups for individual purposes, but also short-term and long-term plays. Well, I'm glad
yeah,
that's kind of what I've been trying to tie it all together here because there's so much that goes on in these lives. We bounce between so many topics, but that's
yeah.
why I have people like Caesar on who just really know the game with very specific, strategies and
Thank you,
stuff like this very well. So I appreciate you just joining us, Caesar, and enlightening everybody. And I'm
thank
excited
you.
to learn more at the meetup. Which looks like Alan is going to be there. Said howdy, excited for the
Uh,
meetup. Moving towards City or Amex next, and I'm leading City after this live.
if you're going for the meet of anyone, come talk to me. I explain
Yeah.
everything step by step. If you took the time to go there and you see me, ask me anything, bro. I'm gonna answer.
hmm Yeah. No, that's like kind of the fun part of the meetup in
Yeah,
general, right? But yeah, I think if you're Alan just looking at like just generally here between City and Amex, and also Alan's another channel member, got the purple badge in the normal chat, so it looks sweet. But if you're just earlier on in your game, it kind of like Caesar was saying earlier, would make sense to go City first before Amex,
yeah,
just because, well, unless you're going to garden later down the line for 6 to 12 months, you might as well get them done now.
yep,
But
yeah.
let's see,
Hey,
Samuel's in here.
when
Oh gosh, I'm not. You're gonna have to translate for me, Caesar. It's my
hermano,
two.
hermano, the two machines together, like the
Oh,
two.
machines.
Gracias,
Okay.
like, gracias, Samuel.
Let's see. Clinton right here saying the older you get, more valuable time becomes. Yeah, well,
That's
that's the funny part, right? Is like
100% facts.
it is the
That's
same
facts.
value
Yeah.
for all of us, but it's a perspective
Oh,
shift, right?
yeah, but yeah, you should. That once you hit 40 something, something changes. Like,
Mm.
damn, man, I don't even have half of my life left. So I have,
Yeah, yeah,
I cannot be wasting my time.
yeah,
When you're young, you just I was young, so I know, but that part. But yeah, once you start getting older, you start putting some, some dollar amount to 1 hour of your life,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. No, I love it. I think that's a perspective that like Stan shared with me too. Like when we did our creator conversations and I visited him, he's every time we have a conversation like that, he's always reminding me like
yeah,
Spencer, I promise you right now, the most valuable resource you have is time. And he's like, and he's not,
yep,
much older than me, but he just already
yeah,
is seeing that, and it's something I need to remind
yeah.
myself more of.
It is.
Uh,
Stan is such a great guy. Can't wait to see
yeah,
him over there in Puerto
I
Rico
know.
again.
Here we go. This is a longer one, Caesar. So you have to carry the boats on it.
César, Amex no me quiere dar el bono de bienvenida en el lado personal por cancelar la tarjeta hace 2 años. ¿Cree que aplicar para la Green sin bono? Sí, VM ya, yo creo que sí. Deberías, aplicas sin el bono y juegas el juego de bajar y subir de nivel las tarjetas. Yeah, basically, Papa Gel is not giving them the offer. Uh, I told them just go for the lower one and then play the game to get the offers. De
Mm,
VM también hay ofertas sin restricciones o no lifetime language offers.
mhm. And then we had Zabdiel
Ah,
here saying
yeah, that's from my channel too.
it looks like he might have
Yeah.
translated it for us, which is nice of him to do. But
Cesar MS. So how
he
you call
squeezes
it? This
Caesar
wallet,
squeezes
Chase.
Amex points so hard that Amex probably needs a wellness check. If there's loophole, a bonus, or a hidden multiplier, trust me, he's already cashed out
I,
twice.
I got a membership on my channel, and I everything we talk, like, I'm just touching like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah,
But for them, I go do detailed presentation step by step, how to know every single hack with American Express. So thank
yeah.
you, Sabdiel.
That's awesome. I've been waiting to see like because YouTube's releasing, the auto dubbing feature and stuff like that across channels, and I've been like excited to see if maybe that would
I
bring.
disable
I
it.
do
I
see.
disable it.
Oh, you
I
did?
disable it. I used to have it, but it doesn't translate very well.
Yeah,
And
I
if I'm
imagine not.
explaining, if I'm explaining a strategy, I want to, for the, you know, it can confuse someone with the
Yeah,
translation. It's not. I don't think it's doing a good job. So I disabled that feature.
yeah. Hopefully over time it does better, but I need. That's why I'm again meetup, baby. I'm going to learn about all these things.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a presentation
Yeah.
from Caesar. Um. All right. Let's see here. Alonso just joined as well. Master Caesar. That's good. And then Keith just joined as well, saying, "Hey, y'all, a little late joining tonight." Yeah, I mean,
Thank
shoot,
you.
we've already gone for over an hour and a half, so I guess we're about at the ending stages here, Caesar. But I appreciate everybody joining, no matter when you did. Yeah, any kind of just like parting words, parting advice for anybody maybe looking to get into Amex, or just some encouragement or something here for those that are in the space.
If you're playing the long game, start with the most difficult banks to get the cars. Like, I will focus on Capital One City, then move to Chase, and then MX. That's what I will do if I was going to start right now, and I knew that I'm going to play the game for a long time, for a couple of years. Get those banks out of the way first, and then just focus. And don't try to hate on Chase and MX. Eventually, you will need both. As
Yeah,
time goes on, you will need both. There's no other way to generate hundreds of thousands of points with the other ecosystem for the regular people, for the ones that spend 30 to 40K $1,000 a year. You're gonna need Chase and Amex, not one. Eventually, you will need.
hmm
Don't waste time. Don't waste time hating on Amex or Chase. You're gonna need them. If you're playing this game and you want to take multiple trips, you're going to need them both. But
yeah,
get rid of those difficult banks, and then just go all in with Chase and American Express. Learn how airline alliances work. That's the way to
hmm
maximize your points. Easy to use a portal and get 1.5, 2 cents per points, but the real value of the points are, using airline alliances. Is such a great perk of transferring miles and points. And be open to adjust your strategy. I mean, this is an ever-changing game. You just have to adjust. Don't worry about devaluations. Don't worry about what American Express is going to do next. Just play the game. Something happened, adjust. That's it.
yeah.
There's going to be another bank uh, available, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's such good advice. Yeah, I mean, I'm like fired up, honestly, talking like you and Luke lately, just like really wanting to find, like I mentioned earlier, like you might have convinced me to just start going in with Amex. I got this Chase Inc. card I gotta knock out first, but maybe soon enough with how low my 524 is, I might start these strategies and start documenting that on my channel as well, more
Yeah.
advanced strategies. But regardless, again, thank you, Cesar, for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
I'm really excited. I'll see you in 2 days.
Yeah.
Sounds like some people are going to
Thank you
see you
so much for the
tomorrow,
invite.
but
Thank you so
yeah,
much for the invite, Spencer. I really appreciate you. So can't wait to see you here in Puerto Rico. Thank you so much.
yep, of course. Yeah. And everybody, thank you all for watching tonight. We're going to go ahead and end it, but we'll see y'all very soon. And we'll have another guest on, I think next week. It's going to be exciting too. So just stay tuned and we'll have Cesar on again in the future too. So thank y'all.
Thank you.